Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working with this Thumler's rock tumbler. I've had this for a little while, but I haven't used it because the lids get eaten through after many weeks and months of tumbling. One thing you want to know about the Thumler's rock tumbler is that the lid is held on with a rubber band. Let's open this and find out what comes in it. So in this set, we've got one plastic lid. Like I mentioned, the lid will get worn through here because of the grit. And you'll have to replace these every so often. And they're held on by one of these rubber bands. Puts tension around the barrel. So for our rock today, we're going to be tumbling just kind of whatever I have hanging around, honestly. Some scraps, end cuts. I've got a lot of stuff that I've just kind of been collecting for the last few months. Stuff I've cut. These little chips of agate. These are from Africa. I don't remember where exactly, but I bought them at Richardson's Rock Ranch. Give them a spray. They're really nice. You get some great banding off these. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So I'll toss those in there. I do have some agate here. A lot of this is agate borderline flint, but it polishes up really nice. And it's a little bigger than what I want to put in there. See, it's pretty dark agate. It's a little bigger than what I want to do. Yeah, so we get a little more of the agate view here. Same stone. This stuff is local to my location. What else do we got? Random stuff. I'm not going to put this in. This is a common opal, and it'll just get turned into powder if I put it in with this agate. Let's see, what else do we got? Okay. I've been making my own containers, my 3D printer. Try and help me organize a little bit better. See, we've got some red and green jasper. Let's spray this thing down with a little water so we can see what we got going on here. Yeah, it's very nice. Red and green jasper. Jasper and agates, I usually mix those together. This is another jasper. It's John Day River jasper. That's really cool. Now, this is a little big for what I want to do. Let's see. Got this jasper. It's got some really great colors. That should polish up really nicely. Jasper. And what's this? Ooh, jasper agates. That's a really interesting piece. Let's zoom in a little bit. That's really cool. What else do we have here? Jasper. Lots of jasper. I'm okay with jasper. This is something that had been tumbled in the past. It's a little big. I do need to have a lot of stuff that I need to tumble over again. This is a piece of flint that's local to my area. Something I was just messing around with on my high-tech diamond flat lap. Same with this. This is a piece of Mexican lace agate. That was like this. It's very nice. We'll toss it in there too. What else do we have? Another piece of that jasper. That's a little too big. Another jasper. This one is a little agate-y too. That one should tumble really well. I think we could do just a little bit more. I don't like to pack these. They're only supposed to be like a 3-pound barrel. So I think we can do one more piece. Oh yeah, okay, this is local jasper. Do that. That was kind of small. And ooh, another really awesome jasper. Okay. I think we'll call that good. Let's do the next one. Okay. This tumbler can take 2 barrels, like I mentioned. And we've got some more stuff I can toss in here. Let's do a little bit bigger in this one. What we got here. This is jasper. Lots of jasper. I'm a big jasper fan. Yeah. Let's see. That is flint. I'm not going to do that. Honestly, I don't really even want this. We got here. It's a bit of a dirty jasper. Honestly, I've got better stuff I could tumble. Yeah, here's a slice. If I'm going to put bigger stuff in this one, though, I'm not going to put a thin piece like this in the tumbler. That would just destroy it. Yeah, I've got another slice of that red jasper. It's got some really cool patterns. Toss that in there. What do we got here? Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is a jasper also. See what it'll do. Oh yeah, this is a piece of jasper that's local to my area. You see it's got a little pocket here. That's okay, just so long as we clean it out. But this is some really nice stuff. I love the patterns. What else? Yeah, this is a little agate cabochon I was working on. Just kind of practicing with some fodder I have laying around. We'll toss it in there too. Some agate. That'll work. Another piece of this stuff. I like that. It's got some really nice patterns. I have this agate. That's from a local river, John Day River in Oregon. There's its other half. Toss both of those in there. Yeah, we're getting there. There's a jasper we'll toss in there. This is a really smooth one. It's river tumbled, but one of the things I've enjoyed doing that I haven't done, except for maybe a couple times, is to tumble a thunder egg. This is an Oregon thunder egg. You can purchase these at Richardson's Rock Ranch, just north of Madras, Oregon. We'll toss that in there. That can be the last one. Yeah. We've got 2 barrels full of goodies. Let's put some grit in. So what we're going to be putting in these barrels is a 60-90 grit. That's kind of the standard rough grit, step 1. So I usually put in 3, maybe 4 tablespoons of this for a 3-pound charge. 1, 2, 3. We'll do a little bit more. Okay. And then from here, I like to fill it just to the top of the rocks, maybe a little bit below with water. Just right about there. You want it to be able to make a good slurry, but you don't want it to turn into cement. Now some people might say, Andrew, you're putting in too much water, or Andrew, you're not putting in enough water, or too much grit, or not enough grit. Well, you know what? It doesn't really matter that much. There are kind of, guidelines which you should stay within in order for it to be an effective tumble. But at the end of the day, it's not gonna make or break this thing. Let's seal these up. Okay, I gotta make sure the seal is right where it needs to be. That's good. Okay. Now remember, these are not like a screw top lid. They use this rubber band. And the rubber bands do wear down. You go through rubber bands before you go through a lid. So then, once you get to this point, you can test. If it's not seated correctly, it'll start leaking down here. And so the test is just to let it sit. Nothing. What I've seen also is that if it leaks and you just let it run, it'll start to dry, and it'll make a dry seal with kind of what's leaked out, and it'll stop it from leaking. And I have seen this brand kind of explode before, and I started tumbling these inside of a container to reduce the risk of making a big mess. Had that happen a couple of times. It was not fun cleaning all that junk up. Okay, let's see. That one's not leaking, what I can see. Sometimes I'll turn it around this way, just so I have both facing out. You can see. Okay. Let's plug it in, watch it turn. Now I like to watch it for a little bit just to make sure that we're not going to have any leaks. So far I'm not seeing anything. Okay, thanks for coming along. I'm going to let this run for about 2 weeks, then I'm going to check on it. And if I feel like some of them are good enough to go on to step 2, I'll move those into a different barrel, and I will refill these barrels with step 1 to continue for another 2 weeks. So, we'll see you next time.